Welcome, guys. If you're going to EDC Mexico, this podcast episode today is dedicated around the electronic music festival scene. Going to EDC Mexico, traveling to Mexico City, whether it's a festival like EDC, the underground, or the crazy rave experiences that we just saw Black Coffee announce at the pyramids in Mexico City. This video is going to be giving you guys game on having traveled Mexico City for 12 years and 3 EDC Mexicos under my rave resume.
Let's start the podcast with one of my favorite stories that you told me about EDC Mexico. The one time that they're trying to sneak in liquor. You thought you were in the U.S.
Thought I was invincible.
I thought you were invincible. Yeah, let's go.
The thing about EDC Mexico is one of the top questions that people will have is it safe? And I tell people, yes, it actually feels a lot safer than going to EDC, even in Vegas, going to raves out here. Going to a rave, a festival in Mexico is actually a lot more strict than going to one in the US, which is a good thing for people that are worried about safety. They have security, they have police, and a lot of times they have military. The last time that I went to EDC Mexico, I had a beer can in my pocket. I wasn't trying to sneak it in. I forgot it was in there. And, you know, in the US, when you go to a festival, they give you a pat down, and if they find a beer in your pocket, something like that, they'll just throw it to the trash. And the police officer that was checking me looks at me. He says, "What's this?" Pulls it out. He puts his hand on my shoulder. He starts walking me over while he has his hand on my shoulder to this tent where there's a bunch of officers, and he walks me straight to the commander-in-chief of all of these officers. At this point, I'm like, I do not speak Spanish. Started speaking English. He tells the commander that he found alcohol in my pocket. The commander is like looking at him confused, like, you just found alcohol in his pocket? That's it? Why is he even here? Does he have anything else on him? I tell him no. He looks me straight in the eyes, and tells me, "Are you sure you don't have anything else on you?" Which I didn't. Searches me. He shakes my hand and tells me I can go into the festival. I've been to 36 countries. I've traveled to festivals all over the world. And as someone that's an experienced traveler and has been in the rave scene for 15 years, that was very nerve-wracking. That was a very nerve-wracking experience to be in a situation like that. Like, I thought, am I going to be in a freaking jail in Mexico over a beer can? Or is he going to try and kick me out? It was very intense at the moment. And once I walked inside, I was like, wow, they made a big deal out of nothing. But that's just perspective, you know? Sometimes people will ask me questions like, hey, can I take my vape to Mexico? You know, vaping is a very common thing that people do at raves in the USA, but vaping is actually illegal in Mexico. So I tell people, you want to be on your best behavior, go out there, enjoy yourself, have fun, but keep in mind, don't go out there with a dumb mentality that, oh, it's Mexico, I can do whatever I want, because you'll F around and find out.
You'll find out very quick.
Yeah.
You thought it was gonna escalate?
I thought it was going to escalate, yeah.
How far was it? Was a really long walk, or
It was like not even a 5-minute walk. It was probably like a 2-minute walk.
it's just like,
Yeah. But he had his hand on my shoulder the entire time, and I wasn't going to try and run or anything like that.
do you go by yourself or?
No, I went with a big group that year, but we got separated as we were walking into the entrance. So when we're walking inside, they're like, "What happened? What happened?" And I'm just like,
You were about to get kidnapped.
You guys won't even believe it if I told you.
Just for a beer.
Yeah, just for a beer, bro. And I share this not to scare people because it's not scary, but really just don't F around and find out.
Yeah, don't push it. Don't push the effort.
Yeah.
It happened to me, and I seen it happen. For example, we often to the Coachella Festival.
Yes.
And for example, in the morning, I should say in the afternoon, maybe in the evening, you know, they're very light. They let you in. They don't even check you around 7 p.m.
Yeah.
They're patting you down, brother. They're checking everything.
Yeah.
We understand we do it for safety reasons. You know, there's times
Exactly.
where I bring my camera, you know, I'm taking photos inside, go outside, get some water, or go to the camp, or go home and eat, or whatever I gotta do. When I try to go back inside with my camera, they wouldn't let me in.
Yeah.
So I have to walk back, drop off the camera, and then go back inside. So
That's crazy.
why go to the trouble, right?
When people ask me some crazy questions, I just tell them, I can't answer a question you already have the answer to.
It's true. It's true. I have another question. When you go to EDC Mexico, how is the parking, brother? Do you recommend people to drive there? Do you recommend people to get shuttle, or What's your perspective on that?
That's a really good question. So the transportation in Mexico City is one of the heaviest with traffic. I always tell people leave 2 to 3 hours before you want to go see a festival. The venue is massive. The walk from when you get dropped off from an Uber is still a distance away from going into the entrance to get your pass, your ticket scanned. It takes a lot of time to just get around in the city, regardless of where you're
Hmm.
staying at. And extra game right here for the transportation. If you can arrange your pickup with a driver, somebody that can pick you up after the festival, you're going to do yourself the biggest favor, because there are so many people trying to get Ubers and DDs, which is like the Lyft of Mexico. Sometimes you're stuck there trying to walk away from the festival venue to try and get a ride. But if you can get a ride, arrange a ride with somebody that can provide you that service, that's going to be doing yourself a big favor that you're going to think about. You're going to think about this video right now when you got that ride back home, and you're going to thank me for it. Best way to get transported going to EDC Mexico is going to be Uber and Didi. You can get there via public transportation, but unless you're an experienced traveler, I don't recommend it, because depending on where you're staying at in Mexico City, it can be a hassle. You can get lost, and you might not have service. There are a lot of things that can go wrong. And for being in Mexico City for your very first time, I don't recommend taking the metro there unless you're an experienced traveler and you want to just go and see how the public transportation moves around in the city. Other than that, your best bet is going to be Uber, Didi, leaving 2 to 3 hours before and not feeling rushed like you're running late to a set to go meet up with people. Go in there with that kind of mindset, go prepared, and you're going to thank me for it.
Yeah, what about money? I know no one talks about money, but should you carry cash? Is everything card?
In the past, when I went, it was very cash centric. Mexico as a city, Mexico as a country is still very much cash centric. In 2026, you now have the option to get these reloadable wristbands on site at EDC Mexico, where you have cash and you're able to reload these wristbands and use those as a form of payment. A lot of people will go back and forth with me and say, hey, you can only pay with the wristband. Some people will say, hey, I know that they take cash over here. Have a card, have some cash on hand, because even if the festival is very much wristband or credit card centric inside, there are still vendors, there are still people you have to pay that will only accept cash outside of the festival while you're going through Mexico City and while you're out traveling and exploring. There are also these bike riders that give you transportation, like, if you've been to Coachella, you've been to music festivals in Southern California or in the US, these guys that you give money to get you to the entrance gate of the festival. EDC Mexico is so massive that they have these guys present at EDC Mexico as well. And again, these guys only accept cash. So for anybody that thinks, oh, I'll be fine with just credit card, do yourself the favor, carry some cash on hand. I'm not going to tell you to have your entire life savings with cash on hand with you at all times at the festival. Don't do that. Also be conscious. Have a budget, have some cash, have a card as reserve, and be prepared. This kind of information, these kind of tips, we have that available at the free guide at our website, XXXDCD.com.
This is brand new information for me too. I
Heck yeah,
never.
bro.
It
It really is, huh?
Yeah, it really is brand new information for me too. What about when it comes to clothing? What you recommend people to wear? How's the weather at EDC Mexico?
During February, it can be nice and cool during the day, but at nighttime it can get cold. So I do recommend having a sweater. Ladies, if you're watching this video right now, have your boyfriend, your boo thing, your side piece, buy you a XXXDCD hoodie and carry it at the festival times. Don't ask, make him do that right now. Send this video to him. So I recommend having a hoodie at the festival just because it can get chilly at the end of the night. As far as the clothing goes, the Mexico rave scene, Mexico City and Mexico in general as a country is a lot more conservative in comparison to the United States, where people wear pasties, they dress really colorful. That's not very common in Mexico City. And throughout all of the videos that I've been posting on going to EDC Mexico and traveling Mexico City, a lot of the women that are from the USA have shared that, hey, this is a really good tip that I'm glad you're talking about, because nobody else talks about that. It's not a bad thing. It's just different. Mexico as a country and the fashion and how they express themselves within the rave community is a lot different than how they do in the United States. It's a lot more similar to the European rave scene where it's casual. You throw on a t-shirt, you throw on some pants, and you call it a day. That's how they dress. It's very casual. So we just dropped this Mexican Latino centric collection available now on our website that I highly recommend you guys check it out. It's going to be perfect for EDC Mexico, Skyline if you're doing that back to back, and you'll be able to wear it well beyond going to raves and festivals. It's also a product that you can wear to the gym and is going to hold up down the line.
Badass, brother. Super cool. And also, for men to men too, go get yourself a t-shirt.
Exactly, bro.
Go get yourself a badass t-shirt. Good quality, one of the best t-shirts I ever had. My favorite one, Corridos and Techno.
Heck yeah.
That's my favorite one.
That one's going to hit like crazy in Mexico City. I'm going to tell you that right now.
That's hard. It's true. It's true. A lot of Mexican DJs, bro. I'm super, super happy. I'm proud that there's going to have a lot of Mexican DJs that are coming up. A lot of hustlers, brother. I was looking into the Instagrams. I know you share a couple pages with me, the people we're in touch with.
Yes.
And these dudes are putting in the work, and they're not shy away from talent. They do have a lot of talent. I'm happy for that, too. One of my personal questions, brother. After EDC, if there's any places to go out to eat, what do you recommend on that?
There's a spot. It's like a chain. It's called Toño's. They have some really good pozole there. They have some really good sopes. I keep referencing this EDC guide that we put up because I literally created it. I took down the time to write this, going to Mexico City for over 12 years and writing down my favorite taco spots, how I found underground techno raves out there, the sightseeing spots from like the Xochimilco canals to the pyramids, all of the food recommendations, my favorite restaurants, the spots I like to go to for bars are all in that guide. Tacos al pastor, carry cash. That's why I tell you guys carry cash. Where to get some pozole, where to get one of the best high-end steak restaurants from Sonora Grill. If you're watching this video, send us an invite. XXXDCD team would love to go out there. We're going to go out there, speaking into existence. Some of the best steak in the world. So in that guide, I share everything from street tacos to high-end steakhouses to where to get some pozole, some sopes. And Mexico City as a country is growing very diversely as far as becoming its own world. They've got Haitians, they've got Colombians, they've got Venezuelans, they've got Japanese, they got Korean. So there's so much food there that aside from going to EDC Mexico, it's a place that you should really take the time to look over this guide and set up destinations based off where you're staying to try the food, whether it's Mexican food or food from some other part of the world that is very likely going to hit.
No, 100%. Mexico City is one of the most popular cities.
Even inside of EDC Mexico, the food at EDC Mexico is literally one of the best parts of the festival, bro. So when you go inside, the cool thing about EDC Mexico is that they have vendors walking around selling sopa maruchana, mini Domino's pizzas, and even beer, bro. They got guys walking around and you just look around and they're selling beer that comes to you.
You get Uber Eats in the festival, basically.
Exactly. And after the festival, again, I keep saying have cash, carry cash, because those people that are telling you you don't need cash, after the festival, the same way that in Southern California, you have hot dog vendors, hot dog, hot dog, hot dog. In Mexico City, you have people selling the Mexico City staple street foods. And for those of you that are not Mexican, these street foods are crucial to Mexico City culture. You don't find these kind of dishes anywhere else in Mexico.
Is that the tamal?
Yes.
The pan?
Yes, bro. Torta de tamal.
Torta de tamal, there you go.
Torta de chilaquiles. And everybody that's never tried it thinks it sounds like it's too much bread, which I also thought myself. But bro, you just have to try it to understand why people eat this, because it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
It's pretty good. You recommend it?
I recommend it. It sounds crazy, guys. Trust me. If you're watching this video, you're gonna think I would not try that. Try it and let me know what you guys think afterwards. Real quick, guys, appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching this episode. If you rock with what we're doing with XXXDCD, Go check out our latest collection at XXXDCD.com. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and on YouTube here so we can continue to build, bring people to the podcast, and continue building up in the culture. XXXDCD on all socials and XXXDCD.com. Hottest brand in the rave scene. Let's go. EDC Mexico, the venue as a blueprint, has the potential to be bigger than EDC Las Vegas. So it's a massive layout. Like I said, you even have people that offer to transport you on those cool bikes. 2 to 3 hours, get there before. That's really solid advice, because even when you get dropped off by an Uber, you still have a pretty long walk to get into the doors, to the gates of going inside the festival. Inside the festival has similar stage structures to EDC Las Vegas. You have Kinetic Field, you have Neon Garden, you have Base Pod, you have the Dos Equis stage, which is the official sponsor of EDC Mexico, the official beer of EDC Mexico. Feel free to sponsor us, Dos Equis.
Shout out Dos Equis.
Shout out Dos Equis. So the festival itself is really huge. And the same way that I tell people, don't try and force this crazy schedule and this crazy lineup. Yeah, you have your artists that you want to see, but also take the time to really explore the festival, all of the different installations, activations, the art, the people that are bringing together this experience, the vendors. Take a moment to just walk around without having to force needing to see a DJ, needing to see this specific artist back to back to back to back, to where you don't end up enjoying it. It's a festival that you're in a new country, you're in a new venue for the very first time. The biggest tip I'll give you for experiencing that site is going in and taking time to explore the venue and the cool stuff that is there for you to experience as a festival.
And it's cool that you mentioned that, because that's the difference between a traveler and a tourist.
For sure.
Right?
Yes.
The tourist is the person that goes there and says, I'm going to do this at this time, and they have, by the hour. A traveler is a person that says, I'm at EDC Mexico. No matter what I do, I'm already here.
Exactly.
And I'm just going to enjoy it, whether I walk that way and I go see what's out there, I check out the new stage or that stage, to I'm going to go see what I always wanted to see. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're there experiencing the festival.
I like that.
And that's super cool, especially you, bro. You've been to so many of them. You get me excited every time we speak, bro. It's like, fuck, I gotta go.
You're getting me excited.
You gotta.
I'm excited to go now, bro.
You're excited to go. You got yourself excited to go?
I'm excited for the food, too.
Yeah, dude, food is delicious, bro. They just brought me some chips from Mexico this weekend.
Yeah.
They do taste different.
Yeah.
Chips taste different, brother. The
snacks taste better, for sure.
For some reason, there has a little bit more of a seasoning to it. Even though it's the same thing, same bag, but it does taste different.
The snacks just hit different in Mexico. And even one of the years that I went, bro, Takis was an official sponsor of EDC Mexico, and they were giving out freaking Takis at EDC. Just walking around, you're vibing to freaking techno and hardstyle.
You got some Takis.
You got some Takis in your hand. Absolutely catching a vibe.
Yeah, let's talk about one of the non-glamorous part of the festival, which is the restrooms.
Oh yeah.
How are they, bro? Is it the same thing? Like here, free for all. Whoever gets there first. What do you say? What's your comment on that?
So the restroom situation at EDC Mexico, the advice that I have for that is always carry toilet paper. In Mexico in general, as a country, Mexico City, it's very common that you have to pay to use the restroom. And anybody that's ever been to Mexico or traveled to Mexico already knows this. And the extra game right there is to always carry toilet paper with you, because sometimes people are going to charge you extra money for the toilet paper. So if the toilet's dirty or whatever, you have your toilet paper with you. And I'm telling you right now, people don't think about this. It's in the guide. I keep bringing up the guide, but you will thank me. Always carry toilet paper with you when you're traveling EDC Mexico, when you're at the festival, and when you're traveling around Mexico City. The best tip that anybody can give you on traveling Mexico City and going to EDC Mexico.
I think it's not even a tip. I think it's a rule.
It's a religion, bro.
It's no matter what.
Exactly.
You always have to be prepared.
Carry it. Be
Big
prepared.
time.
Stay ready.
You recommend people to take a lot of clothes with them? Should they buy clothes there? Should they travel with a bag? What do you recommend, brother?
It depends on the amount of time that you're going to spend there. I will say take a good amount of clothes. You want to take clothes to be warm, like a pair of pants, sweater. Definitely take comfortable shoes. The merchandising over there is pretty cool. It's very different. If you know what a swap meet is, outside right before you go into EDC Mexico, I have heard nobody talk about this, but they literally have a swap meet, an unofficial swap meet outside of EDC Mexico where people are just selling unofficial merch.
The
They're selling
tianguis, the
the
tianguis,
tianguis, bro. The
the
tianguis,
tianguis.
as they call it out there.
Yeah.
Swap meet if you're out here in California, tianguis if you're in Mexico. If you know the difference. But the tianguis, bro, it's one of the most awesome experiences that I've heard nobody talk about when it comes to EDC Mexico versus Las Vegas. It's an experience because a lot of people that are from the USA have never experienced the tianguis in Mexico, bro. You're going to EDC Mexico and you don't even know that there's a tianguis outside, and you're seeing vendors grinding, hustling, selling t-shirts, selling glow sticks, selling all these rave trinkets and toys, bro. It's such a cool experience to just talk to people, to see what real life is like on an everyday basis, to try and make money and to figure out how you're going to make your livelihood within the rave culture, which is something that we can relate to. And going out there in Mexico and seeing people just hustling, putting in work, and showing up, I think is very cool.
I buy merch from street vendors.
A lot of times it's better.
I was gonna say that a lot of times it's better quality.
Yes.
They do have better quality, brother.
Better quality and better designs, but that's off the records though.
Yeah, that's to each its own, right? I know one of a lot of homies are gonna be playing there. One of them is Bolo.
Yes.
Even though we never met him personally, and also Ocho's the homie. We've seen Ocho all the time.
Yes.
He's proud of the homie. He's making moves. Now he's at his first EDC, so he's moving up in the ranks.
It's really cool to see Mexican Americans that are first generation go out and play at EDC Mexico. It's the motherland, and I think every DJ wants to play EDC Las Vegas at some point, but if you're Mexican American and you play EDC Mexico as a DJ, I think it's like a plaque of honor that just hits 10 times harder. So shout out Ocho, shout out Bolo, shout out every other Mexican and Latino that is from the USA. And in Mexico, there are so many DJs that are also getting the opportunity. I don't know enough of them. I don't have a list to name, but I've been deep diving, going through rabbit holes on the lineup, on playlists, listening to people's music, DJs, producers that are within the Mexico rave scene, within the Mexico City rave scene. And there is a lot of crazy talent at EDC Mexico. I'm going to make a blog post about this. And by the time we have this podcast out, it'll be in the link in bio. Top Mexican DJs to check out at EDC Mexico 2026. So that anybody that is from the USA or anywhere in the world that wants to support and check out Mexican talent, Mexican producers and DJs, you guys have a point of reference to where you can go and say, hey, these are the people that we got to check out that are not always playing in the USA or wherever you're from in the world. Mexican talent, Mexican DJs, Mexican producers. That's what we're on with XXXDCD. We build each other up. We support each other up. And the artists that I do have off the top of my head, Ocho, we've been seeing this dude put in work with his privadas. He was mentored through Dioro to start producing electronic music. And he brings a vibe where it's all around good energy and danceable beats. He's going to be playing Saturday at the Dos X stage. So if you're going to EDC Mexico, one of the top artists to see, Bolo as well. This dude has been crushing it out from Napa Valley, putting in work in the San Diego, SoCal electronic music scene. One of the only Latino DJs to get a residency in a Las Vegas club. That's massive. And he just locked in a tour where he's going to be at EDC Mexico. He's going to be at Empire Music Festival in Guatemala. So bro is going international.
He's going to Miami too.
And Miami, bro.
He's going to be there.
He's going to be at Miami. So just Latinos putting in work in the rave electronic music space. I love to see it, bro. That's what we're on, building each other up, supporting each other, and working together.
No, 100%. And a lot of these DJs, bro, you're not going to see them here in the U.S.
Exactly.
Just because of the visa situation.
Exactly.
But nonetheless, they're very talented. You got to understand, people that play EDC are the cream of the crop.
Exactly.
The best of the best. They don't play there for no reason, yeah.
I love how you just said that, too. if you're going to EDC Mexico, it's the perfect time to take the opportunity to support Mexican DJs, talent, producers, because just like you said, they don't get the opportunity to perform in the US as much as they would like to because of the visa processes. So that makes EDC Mexico extra special. You can see Mexican talent that has fire music and throws down that you otherwise will probably not get to see as frequently in the USA.
No, and not only from Mexico, from South America too. I saw a lot of DJs from
Exactly.
South
Yes,
America.
yes. All Latin America, bro.
Exactly. I even saw some DJs from overseas that is even a lot easier for them to go to Mexico than it is for them to come and work in the US. So there's a
Damn.
lot of talent, a lot of talent, a lot of people that are coming up. I seen this dude named, I forgot the name of it, but we're gonna put it in here.
We're gonna plug them in.
Plug him in. But badass dude from freaking Germany.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
That is one of the things that nobody talks about when it comes to EDC Mexico, bro. And I love how you just brought that up. Artists that you want to see in the US, whether they're from Mexico or other parts of the world that are not able to secure a visa to play in the USA, it's easier for them to get that visa to perform in Mexico. So that makes EDC Mexico that much more special, where if the artist can't secure a visa to play in the USA, they're going to be at EDC Mexico and you probably won't see them in the US for a while.
Yeah, so I add my 2 cents. Whatever stage you pick, whatever artist you would like to see, no matter what it is,
that.
you're gonna have a good time.
I love that, bro.
You're gonna have a good time. Those festivals are designed for you to have a good time, the best productions, the best sound, the best DJs.
Facts.
I want to add a new comment section.
Nice, let's go.
To the podcast where we're gonna be reading off the comments of the people we find on the social media space.
Facts.
Mostly on Instagram and TikTok, right? So we want to read off some of the comments, some of the questions that people have, some of the things that people are curious about. So we're gonna start reading them off. Do you have one or two? So there's some news coming around.
Yeah.
Black Coffee performing at the pyramids.
Yes.
In Mexico. I saw a lot of people are getting rowdy on it. People don't like the idea of him playing at the pyramids.
That's crazy, huh?
Yes, sir. I have a comment here from Jerry Kidd. It says, "Why play at the pyramids? Isn't the pyramids a sacred grounds?" What are your thoughts on that?
I can see what people that are getting rowdy are saying, and my response is always, "Well, have you asked the locals?" I don't think it matters as much of what we have to say about it as much as people that are born and raised in Mexico that actually live there and are integrated into the culture and that is their everyday life, compared to somebody that's just scrolling on the internet and is going to forget about it and go to the bars in 10 minutes. That's my opinion on it. And I know that's going to upset a lot of people, but that's just the reality. And I would find it to be true if people that are upset about it were actually going to buy a flight, go out there, go speak to the Mexican government, and really push an initiative to stop events like that. So the event itself isn't even on top of the pyramids. It's on a separate piece of land next to the pyramids to where you can just see the pyramids from the space where they're going to have the event. So it's like, imagine they're having this event in a parking lot next to the pyramids. That's pretty much what it is. I think that people were upset because maybe they thought that the DJ is literally going to be on top of the pyramids and everybody's going to be jumping on top of the pyramids. I don't know what kind of critical thinking people have, and I say that in a very nice way. The thing to really consider is that Mexicans that live there in Teotihuacan are literally in the comments saying, "I don't know why you guys are so upset. We've been having raves and events in this area for over 20 years now." So Black Coffee performing in this space is actually nothing new. This is something that has been going on for over 20 years, where they've been having raves in Mexico City, from the downtown city to the pyramids to, I'm sure, by the canals, all over the city. This is a city that loves electronic music and culture and is going to push the boundaries of what a traditional venue looks like. The pyramids, yes, they're very sacred. And like I said, people are mindful. They're not having the event on top of the pyramids and jumping up and down on them. It's like having the event on a parking lot where you can see the pyramids. That's my opinion on it.
It says Crucito asking a quick question.
Yes.
It says, where do you register or how do you get the tickets?
So
I think it's sold out.
no, there's still tickets.
It's still tickets?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's still
okay. I
tickets.
was looking at sold out.
So if you're going to EDC Mexico and you're not buying a ticket as a Mexican citizen or resident, you're buying tickets from the USA. You buy your ticket online just like you would buy any other normal ticket. And since it's considered an international order, you're going to receive your email confirmation for your ticket purchase and the order number. That information, along with your ID, they have a will call ticket location with the hours. I don't remember the hours off the top of my head. They have an on site ticket location that opens up earlier than the festival opens up, and it stays open up until the festival ends. At that on site ticketing will call location, you'll take your order number and your ID used to purchase the ticket. You show them that, and they will give you your ticket wristband. They'll give you your ticket to get into the festival, whether it's a 1 day or a 3 day pass.
Interesting. I have Cocoello.
Yes.
It says, as a black coffee fan, is he gonna be playing a Rapture track for 2 hours on a loop, or is he gonna drop off? He's gonna drop new music.
That's a really good question that I don't know. I was actually mentioning that earlier. I haven't listened to Black Coffee in over 5 years. Not that I dislike him, I just haven't listened to his music, so I don't know what he's playing.
But you've seen him live, right? You've
I've
seen
seen
him
him
live
live,
before.
yeah.
Before.
It was more like techno tech house when I saw him.
Mm,
I guess he's playing a different style nowadays.
like Afrobeat music. That's what he plays now.
I don't know enough to say, hey, I like his music, I dislike the music. I think it's cool, and I know that he has a very strong reputation being in the rave scene, electronic music culture for over 20 years from South Africa, one of the most respected DJs from South Africa. So he's got to be doing something right if he's been in the game for 20 years. Other
No.
than that, I don't know if he's going to be working on new music. If he's working on new music, that's something that will definitely reach out to him. And if he gets back to us on what kind of music he's going to have, one of the things that I'll add onto that is I would love to see Mexican DJs as support. I don't know if he's doing an open or closed set, but the festival is going to go some pretty extended hours, and it's going to be a pretty crazy experience, bro.
Yeah, I was watching the raves in Tulum, and I see this start early evening the day before, and
Yeah.
sometimes they go into 2 p.m. the next day.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, I was watching a video someone sent me
Yeah.
of one of the DJs, I believe Salman or something like
Solomon?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was upset because they were trying to cut off his set around 7 a.m. He's like, no, we keep on going, and I guess he ended up finishing into like 3 p.m. or something.
Yeah.
So those are like
People think they got to go to Europe to get a really cool rave scene experience, and they just don't even know that Mexico
has
Latin
marathons,
America. Exactly, bro. Exactly.
freaking parties that don't stop.
Exactly. If you know, you know, bro. Mexico, rave scene,
100%.
raving out there. If you've experienced it, you know. First time. So.
I have here one of the other question is Johnny Magana. He's asking, besides EDC Mexico, what other sites do you recommend people to go see in Mexico City?
So if you're going to Mexico City, EDC Mexico, if you're going to EDC Mexico, Mexico City for the very first time, I recommend always adding 3 to 5 days on top of the festival to go explore and travel. One of the best parts about EDC Mexico is that you're literally in one of the biggest cities in the world. And from being a mega city that has everything that you can think of, like a New York City, to having history and culture from the Mexico City pyramids in Teotihuacan to Xochimilco, the Mexico City canals, where you can get on these cool boats and turn them into like party boat experiences. Every one of these experiences takes an entire day itself because of the traffic. So, another piece of advice I'll give people, if you're planning to do any traveling, don't overwhelm yourself by trying to do all of these crazy sightseeing experiences and then going to EDC Mexico. You will burn yourself out and you will be cooked at the festival. I've seen people try and do it. Plan ahead of time. Give yourself those extra couple days before or after EDC Mexico to where you can comfortably rest, recover, do the festival, and go to the pyramids, go to the canals, and go to the Centro Histórico. There's so many cool spots to see in the Centro Histórico in Mexico City, one of the tallest towers in Latin America. You have a lot of vendors, you have a lot of sightseeing in there, you have parks. So it's a very cool place to just walk around and people watch and get an understanding of what this mega city is like on a day-to-day basis.
Badass, brother. Badass. Actually, it's funny to mention the pyramids. So you're talking about the pyramids now. Go see the pyramids
Yeah.
before they get destroyed. No, just kidding. Anyways, people have these different comments. I was reading, people have different opinions. Some people hate it, some people love it.
Yeah.
Some people are against it, some people are with it. I mean, it's all perspective, right? To me, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It brings people to the pyramids
Exactly.
because they're not having them on the pyramids. They're having them near the pyramids, and people don't know about the pyramids. So now they're bringing more people.
Exactly. That's a good perspective to it too. And the sightseeing, if you want to see sites within Mexico City, you need recommendations from museums to what spots to check out. It's all in the guide on XXXDCD.com. EDC Mexico City guide. Check it out.
Yeah, you give everybody the playbook, all the tips and tricks if they're going, so people make sure they have a good time.
That's what we're on over here, bro. Putting people on, giving back to people off of our experience, our reputation with XXXDCD, and, you know, going to different raves in Mexico, Latin America, Russia, Europe, bringing it all back and giving the game, the sauce to our community so that people can go and be more prepared when they go to these festivals, go to these experiences, and know that, hey, XXXDCD put me on. That's what we're on over here.
I agree, brother. I'm 100% with you. So with that being said, we're going to close on the podcast. Anything you want to add?
Make sure to follow, subscribe, and keep running it up, building it up within XXXDCD, in the rave, out the rave. That's what we're on over here. Let's go.